So the first thing that is opening in December is Three of Wands in reverse, which Three of Wands is the visionary card. So in the reverse position, it tells me that you may be lacking a little bit of vision or imagination towards what it is that you want. So I'm going to say at the beginning of December, see if you can clarify what's your dream, what's your vision, how you would like to envision things happening, because you're having a little bit of a block in that area. Usually when things are in reverse, it means that there's a delay or that they're in shadow or being suppressed or just not allowed. So 3 is the person who is the visionary. He looks out into the frontier and dreams about what he would like to create, what it is that he wants to build, what he wants to bring to himself. So with that in the reverse position at the beginning of the month, it tells me get clear on what it is that you want. Get clear on what it is that allow yourself to have dreams and visions about what you'd like to build, what you'd like to bring to yourself, what you'd like to envision your life being like. Because you actually do have this beautiful partnership energy coming to you. 2 of Cups is an exchange of hearts. So this is beautiful partnership energy. It's 2 people giving their heart to one another. The cups represent heart energy and emotion. So this is one of the best cards for partnership. So that's very much there for you at the beginning of December, Pisces. So see if you can allow yourself to dream and envision what it is you want. And it looks like this is showing up for you within the first part of December. Be careful not to overanalyze or overthink things or worry things to death. This is 9 of Swords, and 9 of Swords is a card of making mountains out of molehills. You can see in this card there's like 2 or 3 swords that are actually interacting with these fists and creating this tension, this binding, this worry, anxiety. But 6 of these swords are not even involved with the hands being tied. So what I like to say about this card is don't create more problems where you only have a handful. Like you may have, a handful of legitimate problems, legitimate worries on your mind. Swords represent the mental world. So you may have some things on your mind, but don't make it twice as much. Don't make it 3 times as much. Just deal with what it is that you need to deal with. Don't become overly anxious or have more anxiety, produce more anxiety for yourself than you actually have. Just deal with what it is. Don't go over and over things in your own mind. See if you can remain impartial or pretend as though you're trying to solve someone else's problems instead of your own, because then you may not go off on the deep end as far as overthinking things, or don't overanalyze things. That's what it tells me. And especially in relation to this partnership. And or there is a King of Cups here in reverse. So King of Cups is usually the ideal father, the ideal partner, the person who is compassionate, that makes decisions and choices from the heart. What it actually makes me wonder is that, are you trying with this relationship, are you overanalyzing whether they're the perfect person or not? Are you kind of like going over your head over and over again? Like, are they the perfect person? Are they going to be a good partner? Are they going to be a good father? Yada, yada, yada. In your head, thinking things over and over again, and it also, King of Cups in reverse can also mean emotional instability too, because King of Cups is someone who is in charge of his emotions. He is a master of his emotions. So when it shows up in the reverse position, tells me that not only mentally may you be creating more anxiety for yourself, but emotionally you may be a little off balance, maybe regarding this relationship or potential relationship. So try not to overanalyze or get yourself, sort of tossed out of the boat in regards to your own emotions. See if you can maintain a fairly composed, maintain your equilibrium. So that's at the opening of the month. Or it could be in relation, one other thing is that Pisces, since you're a water sign, King of Cups is also a water sign, so this could be in relation to another Pisces, a Cancer, or a Scorpio. So there may be someone who is a water sign who is causing you a lot of anxiety or a lot of overanalyzing or overthinking things. Hopefully, I mean, this another potential of this is that you're in a relationship and there's someone else who is kind of looking into the picture and you're wondering if maybe they're the actual correct person for you to be with. There's a lot of ways that can go, but ultimately this says don't overanalyze, don't overthink things, don't riddle yourself with all these what ifs. When in doubt, it's good to just confront things head on, is what Chariot's saying. Chariot is, again, about maintaining balance, maintaining your own equanimity, your own equilibrium. This is the passionate, dark horse that is the horse of the irrational mind, the creative mind, the passion. This horse here, the white horse, is the horse of like rationality, left brain, thinking things through, reason, intuition. So it's when you have a balance between these two things that you're actually able to direct things, when you're able to create the direction that you want to go in. That's how he directs the cart, is through having a balance between the rational mind and the irrational mind, between the logical mind and the passionate mind. So, and he also relies on his intuition. So Chariot says, make good decisions. I know which way to go because I trust my intuition, and I also take the experience that I have. I do things in a balanced way. And he has a certain force to his personality. He has a certain decision that he wants to do something. He knows his goal. He knows what he wants to achieve. He's got like the end line in sight. And therefore, he's able to direct his chariot to victory because he's kind of always got his eye on the prize. It's actually in direct opposition in some ways to this Two of Swords card. This is a card of indecision. This is a card of having two different ideas and not being able to choose between them. This person goes into stagnancy and stalemate because they're unable to make a decision. Chariot, on the other hand, is able to balance things and make a clear decision, knowing all the options that are available. It says something about December for you. These three cards in some ways have to do about making choices or seeing the possibilities. So if you're not seeing all of what's possible, you may not be able to make clear and victorious, successful decisions. You may, just end up at a stalemate or stagnant because you're not able to choose between decisions. So this card here, Chariot, says you will be able to go forward. You will be able to achieve your goal if you can see what the options are that are in front of you. So in that way, all of those cards are related. In the middle of the month, there may be some way that you feel like you're lonely and you're just struggling, or that you're like the lone survivor. This Hermit in the reverse position represents the low side of Hermit, which is isolation and loneliness. So if you're experiencing that in the middle of December, Pisces, hang in there. There is also a card of struggle here, which is standing your ground, but success despite adversity. So it may feel like in the middle of the month that you're all by yourself fighting a battle. And you may feel lonely and isolated. This card, Nine of Wands, tells me that too. This is the survivor. He's a guy who keeps fighting, keeps getting knocked down and getting back up. So he's got like lone survivor energy, and he keeps fighting off all these people, but he keeps getting knocked down and keeps getting back up. I call it my Cool Hand Luke card because he keeps getting knocked down and getting back up. So this card always reminds me of a Buddhist quote which says, fall down 7 times, stand up 8. Even though maybe every time, you're a wounded soldier in battle and it can make you a little paranoid or a little defensive or wary, just hang in there. You will survive through this. And what I see here is that this is you at the end of all of this. This is the survivor card. And so even though despite this struggle and this loneliness and this feeling of isolation in the middle of the month, you're going to come out of it, you know, maybe a little battle worn, but you're going to come out of it nonetheless. And so this card just says keep fighting, keep going for it, keep trying. This card is about taking action and making a decision. As you can see with the prior cards, it's about knowing which options are available to you. And sometimes this is being stuck, not being able to make a decision. You know, this person just checks out because I don't know whether to go left or right. I don't know whether to go up or down. So in this stagnancy, nothing happens, and she's blindfolded because of it. But if she were to pull off the blindfold, choose one sword, and walk away, she would be out of her dilemma. She just needs to make a choice. So you may need to make a choice at the end of December, and that will get you out of this feeling of stagnancy or feeling stuck or stasis. There are a couple people. Actually, it's funny because it looks like a lot of people are waiting and watching for you to make this decision, Pisces. We've got the Queen of Coins, who is an earth sign. She's also, so she could be Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, or she could just be like the head of the household. Usually this is a person, Queen of Coins is the person who's usually in charge of the finances, in charge of like maintaining the budget, or she's usually like cooking food for kids or travelers. I look at her as like the inn or tavern keeper, because she's in charge of the money and she's in charge of the hearth and the home, and so she's like the head of the household. She's looking and waiting to see what choice you're gonna make. There's a Page of Rods, which is enthusiasm, vitality, willingness, openness. He's looking on to see what you're going to do. This could be your younger self is what I'm getting off of that one. And then there's a Knight of Coins. So this card is, again, another coin card, another potentially earth sign. So this is Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. But the Knight of Coins is all about the bottom line. This is sometimes known as the salesman card. And he's like, what is going to be the most practical? I need to consider what the finality of this is going to be. What's going to be the outcome? What's going to be the physical ramifications? What's going to be the financial ramifications? He's usually cavalier in terms of being a knight because he's romantic, playful, and clever. But he also is the most patient of all the knights, and he's willing to really consider what the effects are of something. This is actually the same card as the United States is a Jack of Coins. So they're known as the salesman card, and they always drive a hard bargain. So it may be that you need to drive a hard bargain in terms of making this decision. You know, you might need to be a salesman for yourself. Like, don't worry about what all these other people are thinking, even though they're onlooking the situation, because it shows, you know, there's a man and a woman and a child that are all looking to you to see what decision you're going to make. Now, whether those are people at work, whether that's your family, whether these are inner parts of you where, you know, you're needing to be the salesperson, the enthusiast, and thinking about the head of the household, that's yet to be determined. You'll know who these people are or whether it's parts of yourself. But ultimately, they're all waiting on you to make this decision. So there's something at the end of the month where you just need to take action and not be stuck in, you know, all the options you have or wondering what it is that you're going to do. You just need to make a choice and go with it is what I'm going to give to you, Pisces, for December. I also want to let you know that we have a new moon on December 11th. That is falling in your 10th house of career or outward success. So new moons represent new beginnings. So there may be something that you begin in December, that beginning December 11th, where you plant seeds for a new career or some outward means of success or recognition. So there may be a course that you take that is going to end you up with a diploma that you can hang on your wall, or there's something. Usually 10th house represents status, outward expression of things, outward accolades, recognition, career, anything that has to do with outward things in the world or our status or elevation of our position. So you may begin something in December that helps you elevate your position or outward status and recognition over the next 6 months. And then on December 25th, we have a full moon in Cancer, which is your house of true love, of passion, of children, of creativity and projects. So full moons usually mean a culmination, an arrival of things, perhaps that were started 6 months ago. It means a graduation of sorts. It means things that are finally coming to culmination or climax or completion. So if some of you, because the 5th house represents romance, it could be a true love connection that you're getting in December, also with this 2 of Cups energy, or this 2 of Cups showing up, you know, full moon in your 5th house of true love and romance could be a really great sign for you, Pisces. It can also mean for those of you who have been trying to have kids, full moon can be the final arrival of having kids because 5th house represents children. Or it could be the completion of a project that you've been working on. It's the house, the natural house of Leo. So Leo is self-expression and artistry, and it could be completion of a creative project. So all of those things, true love, passion, creativity, children, all of those are highlighted for you December 25th this month, Pisces. So be on the lookout for that. That is my reading for you for December. Thank you, Pisces, for tuning in. I really appreciate all of my viewers, and I just want to thank everyone for viewing, and I really appreciate all your comments. So feel free to comment or ask any questions in the comments below.